Hello, welcome to another ramble. So I haven't really been active on YouTube just because I don't know. There's, I guess in the past I just had a lot to say. I had a lot on my mind, in my mind that I was trying to understand, and lately I've just kind of been focusing on being present in the moment. And I have kind of been not necessarily dis- disconnected from my mind, but I just don't give too much attention to what's going on in there because you can get lost. You can get lost in your mind. It's like a never ending abyss. It just never ends. I mean, think about it. Think about it. It's like one thought birth gives birth to another thought, to another thought, to another thought, to many other thoughts, and it just kind of like never ends. And I feel like you can get lost in it, or you can just kind of let it be. And that's what I've been doing. I've just kind of like been allowing things to come, allowing things to go, and just kind of being more present with myself and with everything and everyone around me. And yeah. Tonight, though, I figure I would make a video on boundaries. This is a topic that has been coming up on occasion. Um, I feel like as INFJs, and this may or may not be applicable to you, um, just depends where you're at, I suppose. But I know for most of my life, I have had poor boundaries. Um, I think it's because, again, people pleasing tendencies. And I think it was because I wanted to be accepted into the social dynamics of, the groups around me. Everybody wants to feel accepted, right? But I think as I get older, as long as you learn to accept yourself, then none of it really matters. If someone likes you or they don't like you, or, if they accept you or they don't accept you, because ultimately it's, I want to say a lot of our interactions are basically individuals projecting their experiences or trauma onto each other. And once I feel like you've healed most of the trauma and you've kind of like accepted a lot of things within yourself that you've been repressing, or how do I say, ostracizing. Once you start accepting every aspect of yourself, because it starts with you, right? And you accept every part of yourself, then it doesn't really matter if people accept you or not. I don't know if that, does that sound crazy? It might. It just depends where you're at. But yeah, I mean, I'm getting older and I just have less time for nonsense. And, you know, now I have been learning to implement boundaries because I know what I want, what I don't want, what I will accept, what I won't accept, um, how I want to utilize my spiritual currency, which is my attention. What I want to pay attention to, what I choose not to pay attention to, because it just doesn't like benefit me or benefit you. You know what I mean? So yeah, I've just been like kind of like coasting in the present moment, and it's nice. um, what really taught me to, like, I guess, stay present is my recent experiences with anxiety. That that definitely taught me to just kind of detach from my thoughts and my feelings, not to like push them aside or repress them or um, condemn them, but to just kind of like allow them to come and to go and to realize that, it doesn't really matter because that's all life is, right? Is constant ebb and flow, coming in and coming out, going up and down of energy, and that's all it is. But once you attach yourself to a high or low point, that's when you're in trouble, But if you just kind of watch things as they come, as they go, and you, it's not that I don't appreciate anything, and it's just, it's just I've made peace with life and thoughts and the feelings and people. I mean, even when I get agitated or irritated, I just kind of notice that, okay, I'm feeling irritated or agitated, and no, I'm just gonna let it go. And the next thing you know, I'm gonna enter another sphere of life, which could be peaceful or happy, and I'm gonna enjoy that while it's there, and then move and move and move. That's all it is. But anyways, talking about boundaries. So poor boundaries when I was younger. As I get older, I have less time for nonsense. And so I have no problem. Obviously, I'm still working on it, but I have an easier time implementing boundaries, and letting people know what I will or will not allow, and letting people know what I will or will not participate in, and choosing how I want to spend my currency based on what I pay attention to, and whether someone likes it or not. I'm okay with that because like I said, everyone is just kind of like having their individual experiencing, and a lot of it is projection. So it most time a lot of the time it has nothing to do with you. It has a lot to do with the person that is standing in front of you, and what they're projecting. And this is applicable to you too. What are you projecting? Um, a lot of problems that exist, like I said, is based on what we believe, the story we've been telling ourselves, the identity that we've identified with, traumas that we haven't healed within ourselves, and we're just projecting, because nothing can really, really affect you unless you let it. And once you realize this, then a lot of things lose their power over you, you know? So, yes, boundaries, I feel like anything in life, they can be beneficial or they can be detrimental. In my case, I think it's beneficial because, like I said, I let people know where we stand with each other, and people who respect me and honor my decisions, I know that they have a place in my life. And people who don't respect me and don't honor my decisions, then, eventually they'll kind of like, I guess, meander out of your experience because you're not willing to play this game with them that is unreal. Yeah, I I used to ruminate a lot and spend a lot of time in my mind, and now I just kind of like see things as it is. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes things work out, sometimes things work themselves out, and it's all okay and necessary, and everything is as it should be, regardless of what you're thinking and how you think it should be. But so boundaries, when it's empowering and it's implemented in order to respect or honor yourself or others, it's great. I also think sometimes, though, when boundaries are put into place, they could actually be blocking you from experiencing life. Like I don't know. I think got the door slammed, that is definitely a firm boundary where you're just kind of like you cut the person out. You will absolutely have nothing to do with them, and that's that, right? And I think at times this is necessary, because you obviously don't want to keep cycling or looping a abusive or you know abusive pattern that will not serve you or the other person. You don't want to like participate in that. You don't want to give it your attention or your spiritual currency. So I mean, that's how we stop it. But I think because we have encountered so much trauma in the past, to some extent we've become distrustful of letting anyone else in. And the thing is, I think like when we're younger and we haven't quite learned how to utilize this tool very well, we overtrust and we divulge too much information too quickly instead of kind of letting it be like a slow drip. You know what I mean? And because some people don't deserve access to you, they don't, and there's nothing wrong with that, and some people do. And it goes back to, I feel the way someone makes you feel. Like if it feels organic and it feels natural, you know, then again, even with those connections, you need to exercise caution, because I've come across people where we had like an instant connection, and everything felt very organic and natural, and I didn't have to force anything. And these people ended up being manipulators. So you just have to be a slow drip, but not block yourself, not the faucet, not turn it completely off, but don't have it like on full blast. You just kind of like have it on so it's a slow drip. And I think good things take time, so that's a good rule of thumb. You don't want to just dive head first into anything, but you don't want to block it out either. So just do the slow drip method, and I'm sure that will help you to discern and decide what is right and what is wrong, and whether a boundary should be implemented, and if it should be a firm one or a light one, or if the boundary can be removed altogether. But good things take time. So instead of just diving into something and over trusting and oversharing, just kind of like slowly take things very slowly and let it unfold organically and naturally. And again, listen to yourself and what feels right for you, what doesn't feel right for you, and just kind of like you know go at that pace. Anyhow, I've been rambling for 13 minutes, and if you learned something, great. If you didn't, that's great too. Have a great night, and blessings to one and all. Amen.